have won over $60,000 in grants. And I didn't start with a blank sheet. I'm going to keep it real. My English is not all of that. English is my second language. And my spelling, throw it in the garbage. But I was still able to win multiple grants, multiple pitch competitions, back to back, using AI tools. And in this video, I'm going to break it down step by step so you can copy and paste, rinse and repeat. It is the AI Hunt Show, and it's your host, Idaya Sambo. Grab your drink, get lit in the AI Hunt Show. So, before I tell you the tools that actually helped me to win these grants, I need to tell you all that I didn't start by winning. I started by losing. When I first heard, when one of my friends told me, oh, if you need money to buy inventory, there are such thing called grants. I was like, what is a grant? I don't want to get loans. Now, if you're a Muslim like me, right, you already know we don't want anything to do with interest. So me thinking, I don't want to go to the banks and get loans. I don't want to go to financial institutions and get loans because the interest is going to be ridiculous. And I don't want to have no business to do with it. So when this person introduced me to grants, right, I looked it up, right? When we get something, we look it up. And I realized that grants is actually free money non-profit and profit organizations give to small businesses that can help you take your business to the next level. Let me give you an example. If you're a caterer and you do everything by hand and you have a small oven that you use to cater, but now you want to make it in bigger quantity and you can't afford a double or a triple size oven, there are applications that you can do and you can submit, and people are more than willing to give you the money to help you buy that oven. Now, there is a myth. People think people don't really win these grants. I'm a living proof. They do. People win $1 million in grants. They win $100,000 in grants. They win $500,000. They win $500. Some people even win $100. The first laptop that I got for my business was from a $1,000 grant, right? So what are you going to do to copy and paste my strategy? I'm not talking about anything else on the internet. What did I do to start winning grants? The first thing I did is I didn't quit when I was losing. There's something about me. When I lose something, I'm going to continue to do it until I master it. For me, when I lose, is a comeback. It's like, it's giving me like okay, you lost, so are you going to quit? No. Are you going to become better at it? Yes. And that, I feel like that's how all entrepreneurs should be. Because as an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. You don't just quit because it becomes hard and you're not making sales and no, you don't quit. You can pivot, you can take a break, but you shouldn't quit. You should face your fears and understand it so you can do better next time. So I feel like it was like for a year, I was applying for different grants. They didn't call me back. I didn't get no reply in email, but I didn't quit. What did I do? I started doing research. And through my research, I became better. I became better. I became better. So there was this pitch competition because a lot of times when you're going to get a lot of money, they're not just going to send it to you. You're going to fill out the grant form. When you get to the semi-final, they're going to ask you maybe to come for like a conference. And the investors are going to be there, just like they want to invest in your business. But this time around, they're not taking any profit. They're not taking any percentage. Then you're going to tell them what you told them in the application. But it's usually they give you only 1 minute, 2 minutes, maximum of 3 minutes to say everything about your business to encourage them to invest in you. So I did that on repeats. There are a lot of times where I failed. I remember one pitch competition. It was for Jumpstart. It was one of my very first pitch competitions. I was supposed to win $10,000 in grants. I failed that pitch competition. I took my children to that pitch. I can never forget. They were crying. Like when I say cry, they were like, Mom, this is not fair. Why did they give it you? I said, but this is how life is. And I'm only going to come back better and stronger. So the next time I did the pitch, I wanted 20,000. Then I wanted 28. Then I wanted 10. Then I wanted another 10. And it just kept on going because I cracked the code. So let's talk about the code. The number one code that I cracked is I didn't try to do it by myself. Now that I realized that this is what I need to do, I created my brand story. I never let my brand story change. What is my brand story? I started a business with $80 sewing machine, and I was able to bootstrap it to a multiple six-figure clothing brand. I was saying this in the ear of a banker sitting right next to me, just having a conversation with somebody else. And he was like, can I invest in you? That's the power of being able to do things by your own. People are not ready to help you if you're not ready to help yourself. But if you have started your foundation strong, you put your own heart and sweat, your energy, your blood, your tears, people will always be ready to help you. I don't know if you watch it, but I'm obsessed with Shark Tank. I'm always watching Shark Tank. I'm taking notes of their reaction, taking notes of what the business owner is saying, and I became getting better. Now I actually judge pitches. So the number one tool that I used was ChatGPT, and that was like 3 years ago when I started learning about grants. So when I come up with an idea, I'll brain dump it into Chat, and I'll say, make it better. After I say make it better, I'm like, okay, if you were my judge, my pitch judge right now, and you wanted to invest $1 million in me, would this be a yes or would this be a no? 9 times out of 10, it will be like it's like a 9 over 10. I don't do 9 over 10. It has to be a 10 over 10. Okay, so what are we going to do to make it a 10 over 10? And then it will fix it. And then I'll take it and I'll copy and paste it into my application. I never try to write an application by myself. Because if I have the tools, why would I be suffering myself, right? A lot of you are like, no, I don't want to use AI because, no, girl, you want the money or you don't want the money? If 200 people are using AI and you are not, and you're having spelling errors and you're having grammar errors, that's sloppy business. They're going to pick the people that use AI over you just because you're letting your ego eat you up. Another thing that I realized that I did really, really well in my grants is that there's usually a section where they say, do you have more information? Like, do you want to include any other thing? I'll never let that slide. I'll never let that box go. I just want to say thank you to the organizers of this grant, whether I win or I don't. I'm so proud of the person because I'm truly proud. I'm just that kind of person. And the first time I got an email back like, oh, you've been selected to be one of the semi-finalists, I was like, hey, let's go. I was so excited. I think it was a $1,000 grant that time. Or was it $2,500? And then I had to go back to the drawing board. Listen, you have to be your own analytics, if that's English. You have to be your own. You have to always trace your step backs. What did I do right so I can repeat it again? So I went back to my slides. I went back to my application. I was like, okay, I said this, I said this, I said this. Now let me tell you all something that I heard from a pitch judge from the state. He said, and I quote, we're not that smart. Everybody judges on emotion. It doesn't matter if you have the best business in the world. If you do not have an emotional story, nobody's paying attention to you. 2 minutes after, they're distracted. 30 seconds after, they're pressing. If they are pressing your phone, that means they don't want to hear you no more. They can't just tell you to get out. Every time I step into the room to pitch, everybody is listening. They're all like this. Because I'm always going to make my story so captivating, which I'm not lying, but there are certain words, I call them luxury words, that you have to pull in, and you also have to put in your personality. Some of you all think because you want to be formal, because you want to be, I don't know, you just want to be all stiff. That's not how life is. If you're a kind of giggly person, you're funny. Be funny. They're going to laugh. When they laugh, they're letting go of those tension. Now they're going to listen better. If you're the kind of person that you have dark humor, give them your dark humor. If you're the kind of person that you're very detailed, let them know that you're very detailed. Always push your personality, because at the end of the day, they're not investing in your business, they're investing in you. They're looking at you like, okay, is she going to spend the money the way she said? And if she does, is this business still going to exist next year? Or is it going to, right? Because if a business, a multi-six-figure can exist just by a donated sewing machine, they are damn sure that the business is going to exist after they give me that $20,000. Another thing is your confidence. apart from AI, if you don't exude confidence, nobody is being confident about you. People are going to buy into the emotions. Don't get me wrong, I was always scared. My heart wanted to pop out of my ribs, but I'm still going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to fake it till I make it. Just like Michelle Obama said, right? She said every time she goes on the stage, her heart is pumping real fast, but she still shows up on the stage anyways. The number 2 thing that I used to win over $60,000 in free money was Canva. I didn't give them sloppy slides. I gave them emotionally triggering slides. Let me give you an example. So when I was explaining to people that it's hard to get cute, modest clothing, like as a Muslim woman, I want to be modest, but I still want to be cute. I want to be able to maintain my personality because my clothes speak for me before I can speak in any room. So there was this slide where I wanted them to visualize how it feels not to wear clothes that you like. So I allowed AI to create a woman in a potato sack, and she had a miserable face. And I said, this is how we feel when we can't find the right clothes fit. You can't walk in the room confident. You can't do your job confident. You can't be your mom confident. Like now AI can make it so easy for you to express the emotions in your head visually. So if you're the kind of person that you sell, I don't know, you sell cake, right? You know there are some cakes that slop to the side. Let AI create a cake that slops to the side and you show your own picture cake. So they're saying this is what we don't want. People, every human being is visual. People will understand quicker when you can show them a visual of something. I use Canva to bring my emotions to life on my slides. And then the number 3 thing that I didn't have, I wish I had the luxury back then, but I didn't. But I created it for you so you can have it. It's called Idaya's Brain GPT. So ChatGPT is a chatbot. You can chat with it all day, right? But there's one thing about ChatGPT that my students say. ChatGPT will take you in circles and it will just keep on going nonstop. Sometimes it will take you out of where you need to be, distracting you. But Idaya's Brain GPT was designed not only to make you profit, but also to help you win grants. It's my chatbot. I built it out of my experience. So when I want to explain it, I like to explain it like, imagine if you could pick my brain 24/7. It took me months to build that that GPT, but now you can have it with a single click. The link is going to be below. So instead of you trying to go to ChatGPT and trying to tell it to do make it a 10/10, make it sound better, you don't need to do all of that because I already did all of that for you. You just need to get the boat. It's inside your ChatGPT, and you start drafting your applications and your emails and whatever you need to draft, right? If I can win real money, right, with these tools, you can as well. And before I let you go, I want you to know that knowledge is not light. Knowledge is only light when you execute it. So if you take everything that you heard on this podcast today and you did absolutely nothing about it, you're still going to struggle to get the next inventory. You're still going to struggle to pay that virtual assistant. You're still going to struggle to upgrade your laptop. But if you take what I give you, I have a student that already made, I think she made she got $5,000 in grants just by listening to me, right? So I want to know, are you going to be going out for those grants? Because there's always free money everywhere. Or are you going to be a looker and a lurker and do absolutely nothing? At this point, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, this podcast, what are you waiting on? Because every single week we bring you not only the latest AI tools, which can be overwhelming, but the AI tools that we know are performing that will give you faster results with more sales. That being said, we have come to the end of this segment. In the next video, we're also going to be talking about everything AI, but in another way. You don't want to miss it, okay? But until then, I can't wait to see you on my next show. Before then, let's go. Salam.